Hello everyone. Now we shall look into few list selection functions. Here I'll quickly go to blank query and create a query. Let us see how to select a list, like make a list. I'll write one two dots and suppose that 30. Okay, I'll click on this tick mark. You could see that I have got a list of 30 values. Suppose that I need some alternate numbers or even numbers or make such changes. I have a function called List.Alternate. As I type List.Alternate, you could select this option and open the parenthesis. The first parameter, it is a list as list. We have provided the list. Put a comma and you have count as number. Suppose that I enter 1 and close the parenthesis and click on this tick mark. Here you could see that it has skipped my first number. So this second parameter, what it does is it skips the number of starting numbers whatever we enter. Suppose I write 2 and check it. Here you could see that it has skipped my first two rows. The second parameter, what it does it skips the starting like number of rows. Now suppose that I want to skip only first row. Okay, and it's my numbers list starts from 2. After 1, suppose that I insert a comma. Here you could see that the third parameter is repeat interval. Suppose that I want to repeat this skipping nature after every row, like after one row I'll write 1, click on this mark. Here you could see that it skipped my first row. After one row it is skipping again 3 number. After fourth it is skipping 5. In the similar way it is skipping, and we are able to see the even numbers. Suppose that I want to make it skip after every 2 rows. I'll enter 2 in the third parameter and click OK. Here you could see that it is skipping my first row and then it is repeating it after every 2 rows. Like after 2 and 3 it is skipping 4, after 5 and 6 it is skipping 7, after 8 and 9 it is skipping 10. This is how this repeat interval works in the third parameter. After third parameter, suppose that if I enter comma, here you could see that this is my offset parameter at the end. What this offset parameter does is it will start with the offset like whatever we mention. Suppose that I enter 1, it will start from 1. It will skip a row because we entered 1 in the skip level. It will repeat the same after every 2 rows. Okay, after 3 and 4 it has skipped a row, after 6 and 7 it has skipped a row, and it is in a similar fashion. This is how List.Alternate works. We provide a list. First one is the skip, second one is the repeat interval, and the third one is the offset. The like apart from the list, all the other parameters are optional. Okay, and let us see the other function, which is called List.Buffer. I'll rename this query as List.Alternate. I'll go to home, click on new source, click on blank query. So this is my blank query. Okay, and I'll write the function buffer. As you type buffer, you could see this List.Buffer. As we open the parenthesis, we need to provide only list, and I'll provide one double dot, like 1 2 dots 20. It will fetch me the list of first 20 rows. List.Buffer, it gives the stable list which is saved in the memory, and it will not like there will not be any changes once we use this List.Buffer function within, like as a nested function in other functions. So this is something called stable list, where the data is saved like in memory, and it helps in evaluating in other functions. So I'll rename the query as buffer. So List.Buffer, it gives us the stable list. Let us make another blank query. Let us see how distinct function works in the list. Suppose that I enter 1 to 15. Okay, this is my list of 1 to 15, and suppose that I want few nulls. Okay, I enter null. There are three nulls. Now I enter repetitive rows: 16, 16, 16, 17, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 19, 19. Okay, these are very like repetitive rows. Suppose that I click on this tick mark. Okay, uh, I have to remove this comma at the end. Click on tick mark. Here you could see that a list is formed with 33 rows, and there are 3 nulls and there are several repetitive elements. Suppose that I want to make it into distinct values. What I could do is I could type list.distinct. I'll open the parenthesis, insert the list in it, and close the parenthesis and click on tick mark. Here you could see that what list.distinct does, it will remove all my duplicate values and provide me all the distinct values. Of course, it would definitely include null. Null would be also part. If you do not want null, you could filter out using other functions. For now, list.distinct, what it does is it removes the duplicate values. There is another function called list.isDistinct. Suppose that I write list.isDistinct instead of distinct. What it does is it will check the whole list and find out whether it is a distinct list or not combined together. Suppose that I'll click on this tick mark, it will show me the false condition because there are several repetitive values. Suppose that even I'll remove the repetitive values, these repetitive values, even only my nulls are repeating. Okay, I'll just click on this tick mark, still it will show me a false condition because the nulls are repetitive. To the list.isDistinct function, what it does is it checks whether the total list is distinct or not already. Okay, I'll remove this nulls. Okay, I'll click on OK. Here you could see that it is true condition. The reason is unlike list.distinct, by like instead of removing duplicates, what it does it checks whether it is distinct or not. This is how list.distinct and list.isDistinct function works. We have seen list.alternate, list.buffer, and we have seen this distinct and isDistinct. Please explore these functions, and thank you for watching, and we shall meet in the next video.